I'm gonna take a walk down river a little bit. Wind's picked up. Current flow is just over 300. They really dropped the flow down in the last few days. They're trying to get rid of some of this moss somehow. And then the temperatures are in the high 60s. Like when you get in the water, it don't even feel cool. It just feels warm. So I'm pretty sure that whatever I'm gonna catch is gonna be only selective eaters right now. All right. I'll just go ahead and take this tippet connection thing here off. All right. This empty spool I have on the top here, I have with just reel backing. So in case I need to make a new leader, shorter mainline length or longer mainline length, I have the material right here to do it with. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself about, this rod is 16 foot. So I'm gonna go about 14 or 15 feet of this main line just because of how deep the water is right here. And I just refill that 3X little tippet spool with this reel backing. I got a big roll of it at the house. And I just measure it out by stretching my arms out. 5 foot. 10 foot. Oh, that's 13 or so. 14. That ought to do. And you can cut this with your normal what do you call it? Like fingernail clipper style line cutters. It cuts pretty simple, pretty easy, just because it's a type of braid line. So then I just, to tie the loop for the Lillian up top, just a simple slip knot. I double through it, and then I come back and I put a single on it. That way, because it's just 2 half hitches is all those knots are. And they're good, but I don't want it to come untied from itself, that is, and I don't want it to loosen up any. All right, so now we got our loop tied on here. Go ahead and remove our stopper off the end of our rod. Make sure we put it in a safe location, that way we don't lose it. I've already got my knot tied in the end of my Lillian. Almost lost all my tippet. And on this section I just wrap it around it twice, holding on to just the Lillian part. Don't pull on the top section of your rod, because you can snap the tip on Tenkara rods. You can pull hard enough to the side to snap the Lillian, because it's just a tiny diameter. Like I was saying in a different video, the comparison between the two of the tip of the rod and the size of this 15-pound test reel backing are really similar. So I'm just going to go ahead and extend this out a little bit here, keep a hold of it. Alright, now that I got the rod extended out, it's time to build the rest of the leader. So you could start out with whatever you want, but if you want the line to lay out and go straight, you start with a thicker tippet. And I usually go with this 1X. And I'll put on about 1.5 or 2 feet of that, and then I'll just go straight to my 4X, which is what this rod's designed to use as a main line. Or not main line, but the weak link has to be 4X. If you use any line that is tougher than 4X, like if you use a 3 or a 2X on there as your main connection. That's going to be your little weak link, I should say. That will probably break your rod. Trying to tie this figure 8 in the wind just keeps re-looping the line back the opposite direction on me, or where I don't want it to go. And a figure 8 is good for attaching 2 different size lines together, and also 2 different kinds of line. And I always make sure to wet all of my knot connections. It's mandatory that you do that. I just think that if you don't, you end up with a little bit of an issue on when you tighten it down. The friction causes bad stuff to happen. Alright, well, now that we've got to that stage and I got pliers and everything hanging out here, I'm gonna go ahead and tuck that back down, and now I'm just gonna go straight for the 4X. I could hit the camera there. You could get a close-up of what brand that was. I'll tell you what, this concrete sure is hot. Sitting on this concrete, kind of thinking that probably a little bit spicy in the water right now for these fish. Probably shouldn't be down here even fishing right now. The main objective though is to try to catch a carp. So, carp are fine in my book. I know everybody cares about the trout, but the thing is, the trout is just one species that's in this river, and everybody really seems to like it. The thing is that there's better fight in the smallmouth, carp, walleye, suckers. Better fight in all of them than there is in any rainbow trout. And for our fly, I think we'll go with the sculpin again. Not again. Okay, would you just be happy if I called it a sculpin colored olive woolly bugger? I'm sure the camera caught that. Something went for it. I don't know what it was. And now I got the grass really flowing down here in front of me. I'm just gonna get back away from the shore here a little bit. Let's see if I can't provoke a hit. Got it. Oh yeah. Look at that rainbow. Nice one. Trying to use the current to go back downstream on me. Keep him out of the rock. I don't want him to wear himself out too much, or herself, whichever one it may be. It's at least 18, 19 inches. It's looking for something to try to break me off. There we go. The look of subduction. Oh, almost got it in that. Score. One in the net. Beautiful, beautiful rainbow there. Big female. She took the woolly bugger right in the bottom of the mouth, and I can't get it out of there early to save my life. Ugh. Let her sit in the net for a minute. See, we got 10 and 7.5, 17.5 inch rainbow. Oh. Other hand wet there. I evidently have to put a finger in her mouth to keep her still. It's a nice big one there. Back in she goes. Trying to hide underneath the rocks, it looks like here. Got him. Nice little brown trout there. It's only about 10 or 11 inches long. That's a nice little brown right there. Cool. That's 2 fish today in the net.